Hello, everybody. Spider here, Commission Podcast, San Antonio, Texas. Of course, being joined by Jax Kinlaw. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Man, I'm doing great. For some reason, I woke up thinking today was Monday. It was like Groundhog's Day, so it's like I woke up and I was like already thinking about Thursday, and they're like, "Bro, it's barely Tuesday," which threw me off even more. But well rested, man. I've been sleeping like a log lately. I don't know if it's the time change or the weather or whatever, but I've been 8:30, 9 o'clock, dude. I'm out, bro. Getting up there.
Yeah, I've been going to bed just a little bit, trying to go to bed just a little bit earlier every night.
Oh
So
yeah, and I think for me, I turned 51 this year, man, and I'm just I wake up early. Everybody's like, oh, you're getting old, and I'm like, dude, I'm up at like four in the morning, 4:30 in the morning. I got dogs, so they wake me up even earlier, and it's just I'm on their schedule, unfortunately. But yeah, I usually wake up early and get stuff done, before work, and then of course, go to work, do my thing, have the rest of the day to come out here and do this, man. But yes, bro. Of course, I have you out here for a few reasons, man. One being this short film that I was able to watch, and hella enjoyed, bro. You guys. I think I was reading where you guys started post production. I think in 2023.
I believe so. Yeah, I think it was 2023 that we started post production.
Yeah, you see, and my question is like when it comes to filming, because everybody assumes that you film something and it's like ready to go the next day. You still, I'm sure for those that load up straight, I'm sure, but when it comes to color grade, sound, everything else, effects, it takes a while, right?
It does. So this was my first time doing a professional production outside of college. So I hadn't even thought I had always done everything myself before, like the color grading and
Yeah.
the sound design and everything. And Um, but this time I wanted it to turn out good. So uh, I didn't even know who I was going to have to be my colorist, who I was going to have do the sound design, um, etc. Really, all the stuff post production, except for editing itself. I really didn't know until we were done shooting the movie. Um, And so thankfully I was able to find some really good people that worked out really well. But
Well,
yeah, it was a long process. It took me months and months just to get it to a place where I felt it was perfect to get the picture lock,
yeah.
to get everything in place and have the assembly right. It took months and months just to get there. And then once I did, it was about finding the right people to do the rest of it. But yeah, I think post production took about a year.
Man, and you see, and it's wild because earlier, of course, I had asked you before we logged on if you were in Colorado. Is that where you were born and raised?
Yeah, and I just moved out to Albuquerque, like August, so not too long ago. But I actually was born in Dallas, um,
Okay.
but moved to Colorado Springs when I was 3, so I don't really remember.
So are you kind of like making your way back home or what? Is that how it's working out?
Not quite. It's just more that there's a lot more opportunity for filmmakers here in Albuquerque, I feel, and that's I feel like I made the right decision moving here just because I'm already getting a lot more opportunities to work in acting and background acting work and PA work and everything. There's just a lot more opportunity, as I say.
Man, and let me ask you because, of course, I did want to ask you as far as your involvement in film, because when it comes to being a writer director, you're also acting. Is this just something? Let me rephrase that. For a small time, or for a long time, should I say, I was doing covering combat sports. I was a videographer, I was a photographer, I was doing everything. I was a one man team, and somebody had once asked me, like, man, if there was one thing that you could do, what would it be? And I said, you know what, probably the podcast. I'd probably enjoy it a lot more. I don't have to be at the events, because that was, I love it. I love being cage side, ringside, but it's a lot of work, man. And so, my question to you is: Are you still evolving? Are you still kind of like trying to see where the film takes you? I should say.
uh, I want to. my main goal is to write and direct.
Yeah.
Bottom line, with what I did with Werewolf Margarita, it was so much fun. I'm like, I want to do that for the rest of my life.
Nice.
But the thing is it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
And so, right now I'm just looking to get any jobs in the movie industry in wherever I can. And that's acting. I'm also taking a screenwriting course right now. So I'd be looking to write some feature screenplays and hopefully get those sold, and then hopefully get to a point where I can gain enough notoriety to have a studio trust me to write and direct my own stuff.
No, for sure, and of course that's interesting for myself, man. Honestly, because for one thing, I do jump on films. I jump on projects here locally. I've flown outside the state twice already, but it's more. I do a lot of commercials, and I know I don't want to say it's frowned upon, because it's not for the most part. You don't get a lot of dialogue. It's just like, hey, you're in the background, just do you and walk around, right? But when I'm out there, I tend to do my own thing. I don't change anything, but I just kind of express myself a little bit more, just to throw it out there because I haven't had any dialogue yet, but I like it because just like you mentioned, you're trying to get paid, you're trying to get money to, be able to do what you want to do, which is film,
Are you
right?
talking about background acting
Right.
with the no dialogue? I love background acting. I
No.
think it's really fun because you just get to kind of sit there and pretend to talk.
Yeah.
And then, when they don't need you, they put you in a break room with the other actors and you just get to chat and, you get paid for it, hopefully.
No,
So,
yeah, you see, and that's exactly what my take is at. We do get paid. I get to network. I get to work in the big studio. So I get to see how that works, how they run it. If I'm lucky, rub elbows with the right people because just like me doing this, I'm always networking. I'm always like, hey, we're gonna follow you or follow me back or start up a conversation to where like I've actually gotten more gigs that way from meeting people and then keeping in touch and letting me know, like, hey, this popped up, man. I know if you're interested, and vice versa. I always return the favor and I always tag people back and just like, if I can't make it, or even if I can, I'm just like, hell, one of us got to get it, or be able to get on there. But yeah, man, that's what I'm doing actually this week. I got two other projects that popped up, and I'm looking forward to, and I get to drive outside the city, which I'm not a big fan of, but I get to go out there and, like I said, meet people and network, man.
yeah, networking is absolutely essential in this business for sure. That's why my girlfriend and I, we went to quite a few festivals. We actually, flew out to quite a few of the festivals that Werewolf Margarita played at because it was just, it was such a great networking opportunity. And we met so many people, and we met a lot of the people that we're friends with now here in Albuquerque.
Oh,
It's
nice.
one of the reasons we decided to move here is because we met a few people from here and we talked to them about it. And it's rather close to Colorado.
Yeah.
It's only a 4-hour drive down I-25. So it's not like an overwhelming move or anything. And so, yeah, it was like, that was one of the reasons we decided to move here. It's like we already kind of had a group of friends
No,
that.
yeah, it helps to move somewhere and know people, of course, too, right? So that's kind of like a big plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, you mentioned the movie earlier, man. Of course, there's a few things that I wanted to ask you out about. I did watch it's a short film, and man, I loved it, bro. It was short, but I was like, damn, like it. It's one of those that you watch and you're like, man, this had so many so many options. You could have gone with it. You could have, you know what I mean? Like it had like so many openings, and I can only imagine. I don't know if this is going to be a feature years later or maybe later, but for yourself, when it came to doing a short, was that just kind of what made sense at the time?
Yeah. So it goes back to a screenwriting class that I took in film school. And we got to pick a song lyric out of a hat, and we had to write a 5 to 10 page screenplay based on that. And the song lyric that I got was, I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada. Originally, it was called Werewolf Pina Colada. And this was one of those scripts where it just kind of flowed out of me. I didn't really have to think about it too much. And when we read it in class with all the other students, I got a lot of laughs and people said they liked it a lot. And so I kind of thought, maybe this is something I'll actually be able to make one day. And then, fast forward a couple of years, graduated college, and I'm like, okay, now I need to make something to get my career started. And so I just picked my favorite short screenplay that I had written, and that was it.
Nice, bro. And I had read that, man, that you actually got this from, from a class project. And even that alone, I mean, there's I listen to like punk rock music, right? And there's always bands that have their they get their names from the lyrics from another band, and I always think that's cool because it's like no matter what you write or what you sing about, like somebody's gonna get whatever they need that day. For yourself, of course, I'm pretty sure you needed a margarita. I don't know, but
I just think Werewolf Margarita rolled off the tongue better, to be honest with you.
no, yeah, dude. I mean, with the name like that, well, you're already thinking, okay, it's got to be I gotta have like sense of like some humor in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's definitely meant to. It's meant to be a horror comedy. It's meant to be funny. It's more of a horror comedy thriller.
Yeah. Now
Um,
you see, I watched it, man. Now, what's the total time on it? I mean, I know it's a short film. I should have looked that up, but what is the total time on it?
I believe it's 9 minutes and like 38 seconds.
Okay, the reason I'm asking that is because when it comes to filming, like how many hours did you guys film to make this possible?
Oh, okay. So the filming was over a period of 4 days. So there's a filming day for each location. And um, we also had to do some reshoots, like for the running scene at the beginning. I can talk about this scene because it's not really giving anything away.
No, just
The first time that we did it, that we shot it, it just wasn't enough. It didn't quite fit the pacing. And once I realized that I wanted to do the opening credits over the running scene, I was like, okay, we're going to have to reshoot this running scene. And so when we did, it's Denver. So it was like 2 months later, and a bunch of greenery had grown all around. It just, everything looked starkly different. And so we just had to end up reshooting the whole running scene. But that really wasn't that difficult. I think the longest shoot that we had was the scene in the house with the werewolf.
yeah.
And we had to shoot all of the scenes with the werewolf character while he's in human form first. And then he went into the makeup chair for about 6 hours.
Wow.
And we filmed everything else with the actress, Chloe Chamberlain. And I sat in for the actor and, did his lines and stuff. So that was pretty fun to be able to do that.
No, and of course, the reason I'm asking is because just like we were talking about earlier, when it comes to commercials, jumping on TV episodes, you know, you're there for 8, 10 hours. I've been there for 12 hours. And it's like, everybody's always like, oh, what scene are you gonna be in or whatever? And I'm like, man, if I'm in, I said they do so many swaps and so many changes. I said, who knows if they're gonna show anything? I mean, when it comes to myself, but it's just people, like I said, I mean, people assume like, oh, okay, you know what, you're going to film and it's going to take one day and that's it, but I mean, there's so many things that happen, scheduling for one thing, mother nature, another, because you wait up a little too much. And I've actually talked to directors that they're like, man, like we timed it because it's like after that weekend, we knew everything was going to change when it came to the weather. And so
Mm-hmm.
they, if they didn't nail it that week, then they'd have to wait another year. And I'm like, damn, that's insane, bro. But, so the chances that you take when you film outdoors, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Man. And of course, man, I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the short and for what it was, I said, man, like this could have been like a film. This could have been a feature film. I mean, there's so many, like I said, so many different ways that it could have gone or but for you getting 2 words, or those words from the class, and thinking, okay, you know what, werewolf, margarita, it is like right off the top of your head, were you thinking, okay, you know what, man, like it's got to be. I mean, and I don't want to give the movie away, when it comes to the short, but I mean, everybody can go out there and watch it, follow you guys on Instagram. But were you thinking, okay, you know what, I got to make it interesting and then put that twist that happened? Because when that happened, I was like, oh crap, like I liked it, man. I was smart. That was good.
Yeah, I had written another short film and made another short film early in film school that ended in a similar way, let's just say that, but instead of a werewolf, it was a psychopath who was stalking this woman. And so, when I was writing that werewolf script, I was like, you know what, I think I'm just going to go with that. It'd be way cooler if it was a werewolf. But it's funny that you mentioned that, it could be a feature, because we're actually working right now on writing a pilot episode for a TV series that is based in this universe. And the events that happened in Werewolf Margarita is part of the TV show. Like, that happens in the TV show, and it
Oh,
leads to
nice.
a lot of other things. So I'm
Man, I mean, you're talking TV show. I mean, is this something you'll be streaming?
yeah, it's going to depend on what kind of distribution we can get, what kind of funding we can get for it. I'm not 100% sure right now. Right now, I'm just focusing on the script.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be doing a screenwriting workshop lab in a couple months here, and that's just going to help me develop it and get all the beats out and get everything perfect before I start trying to shop at the production studios and getting it funded and whatnot.
No, I mean, dude, I hope so, man. I mean, like I said, I mean, there were so many possibilities in just that short alone, in those 9 minutes. I mean, there were so many things that I had so many questions. I was like, damn, like, how did this happen? Or, who's this? Who's this guy? I mean, it was great, man. I mean, like I said, for those that are going to be tuning in, following up, I mean, and I put your handle out there, for those that are interested or are going to be interested, they can follow your page, follow you guys on Instagram. Now, when it comes to the production, I mean, it's all that yourself. I mean, do you already have a production name, all that great stuff when it comes to a link and all?
No, I actually had to make a production company, um, and find all the right people to hire and everything. Like I said beforehand, I was just a film student who
Right.
didn't know what he was doing, and I was just kind of doing everything myself. And it was a little bit of a nightmare. I mean, I made some stuff that I think turned out pretty good that I'm proud of, but nothing that I'm near as proud of as Werewolf Margarita. And that's because on that set, everybody had their own job. We had a really good DP. His name was Gabe Furman, and a gaffer. That was really important. His name was Tyler Trippett. Just, shout out to them. They're awesome. They were such a good team. And the way I work is that I write, or I draw out every shot of the film in like a comic book panel,
Oh, nice.
but like a really detailed storyboard, basically. And I just gave that to them. And so when it would come time to do the next shot, I would just show the picture to Gabe, and then he would talk to Tyler for a little while, and and then they would show me what they've set up, and I'd be like, holy shit, that is way better than I expected. Sorry, I don't know if I can cuss.
No, 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 you're good, man. And I was gonna say too, because I mean, when it came to school, I mean, you were actually looking to be a writer. I mean, was this something storytelling? I mean, are you still interested in writing books?
Not writing books, writing screenplays though, for sure.
Screenplays, okay. Okay.
Yeah. I actually, no, it's funny that you said that, because I did go into college wanting to major in creative writing in terms of literature. And with the first little short story that I wrote, my teacher was like, this is not very good in terms of like a literary short. He's like, but this does read like a really good screenplay. I think you should, look into doing film school. And when I wrote my first screenplay, I was like, oh, this is so freeing, so much fun. I can just write exactly what I'm seeing in my head. So yeah, I love writing screenplays. That is definitely, I'm at my happiest when I'm writing all day.
No, no, and I was gonna say too, man. I mean, when it comes to being creative, when it comes to writing, I mean, is there something that you do in solitude? Do you kind of turn everything off, or do you have to have background like white noise in the back?
It depends. Sometimes I know some people might think this is a bit of a sin, but like I like to put on one of my favorite TV shows that I've seen a million times while I'm sitting on my couch and writing on my laptop, simply just because it comforts me. Writing can be very scary. I'm sure anybody out there who writes can relate, and you sit down to write and suddenly you're terrified. And it's just nice every now and then to have a TV show that I've just like lost.
Yeah.
Lost is one of my go-to ones. I've seen it a million times. Like I know every episode. So I like to put that on every now and then in the background, or like some movies. Like sometimes even when I was editing, just picture lock when I didn't have to pay attention to sound,
Yeah.
I would put on Jennifer's Body
Oh, damn. Yeah.
in the background. That's a fun movie. Um, I like my cheesy horror movies,
Oh, yeah, dude. Same here, brother. Same here.
But also, yeah, when it comes to isolation, like I do need to be rather isolated. I need to not be like talking to anybody when I'm writing. My friends will be like, "Yo, I haven't seen you in weeks." It's like, yeah, because I've been writing. Happens.
No, 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 for sure, man. And that's one of the things too. And the reason I asked is because even myself, like I've got the movie on in the living room. I put the dogs away, so they're watching something on YouTube, But I just gotta have a little white noise in the back. It just when I go on here and I forget to turn something on, I kind of like, damn, I don't know, it feels weird. I just feel it feels awkward. But I mean, I just put it low enough to where you can't hear it on here. I don't think, but at least I can still hear it like on the side or whatnot.
There's a bit of, yeah, I can't hear it, but yeah, there's a sense of comfort to it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely, bro. I mean, I'm that guy. I gotta fall asleep with the TV on. I don't know. It's just I
Me
want
too.
to put something on, and my girl's always like, "Oh, you fell asleep with the TV," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's been like 6 years, man. You should know that. I gotta have it on there." But yeah, bro. But let me ask you, when it comes to writing, are you old school? Like when it comes to writing on paper, or are you digital? Is everything like on the tablet, laptop?
So yeah, I usually just I start off writing a paper,
Yeah.
and then I'll translate it to my laptop. And it's nice because it gives me something to do, because usually like I'll have a creative burst for one day and all these ideas come to me, and then I'll write them down on paper. And the next day it's like I want to keep writing, but creativity's gone, and so that's when I'll type everything out. And the day after that, that's when I'll write on paper again. So that's
Oh,
what I've been doing with the writing the TV series.
no, no, man. That's pretty smart though, man. I mean, I know I'm that guy, and I've said it before. When it comes to like texts or emails, like I always delete them. Like I don't know, I don't like to have like 1,000 emails stuck because and sometimes I delete the wrong ones. But it's like I'll try to screenshot stuff and just to keep those. But I mean, digital. I've always been afraid because I'm like, damn, like I don't know if I start writing something or if I start working on something, I'll end up deleting it by accident, and that would suck. I mean, I think there's like backup and stuff you can built in, but yeah, bro. Let me ask you, man. I mean, you said you love your cheesy horror film. So when it came to writing this, I mean, what would you say inspired you to write the short film?
So one of them would definitely be The Howling.
Oh, of course.
I think it's a very underrated werewolf horror movie. It's very 80s, it's very sleazy, ridiculous horror movie with crazy practical effects, and that's just what I love about it. I I know the critics don't like it as much as I do, but I just think it's a great movie. As well as Underworld would be another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Um, let's see if I can. Van Helsing. Van Helsing.
Oh,
Hugh Jackman.
yeah.
That's what made me fall in love with werewolves in the first place. I think that is the coolest werewolf movie ever. And again, I know a lot of people disagree with me on that.
No, it actually. I mean, I think it was for me. It was the fact that Wolverine was in there. Like I was like, oh damn, like it just kind of made it more interesting. I mean, of course the actor, right? But for me, that's what I liked about it. I mean, but yeah, the storyline of the film itself was pretty damn good, man. But it kind of reminded me. I always have this thing like back when I used to collect comic books. The what if. We used to get that comic that it's a storyline, but hey, what if he died or she came, she kept her powers or whatever. Crossovers, between like Marvel and whoever, like Alien. I mean, I've always been a big fan of like mashups. So when I see a character portraying something like that, like it just does something to me to where I'm like, damn, it kind of answers that question. What would happen? Wolverine were to fight a werewolf, or if he was in a werewolf film. I mean, of course, it wasn't the character, but the actor himself. So it just makes it a little bit more interesting for myself.
Yeah, yeah, I love the fact that it was like, you got Frankenstein, you got the werewolves, you got the vampires in there. It just has a little bit of everything, and just makes for a fun mashup, like you said.
No,
And
no,
I
for
think a
sure.
lot of people didn't realize that it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear. I think a lot of people sort of shat on it because they, you know, were just thinking like this movie's goofy as hell, but it was supposed to be. That was the point. And that's
No, that's true, because I mean, there's films out there that I'll watch without seeing like a trailer just to kind of get that moment. And I've been thrown off, and I'm like, oh damn, this is actually, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a horror comedy, and it's just straight horror, man. I'm like, damn, catches me off guard. But the same thing when it comes to watching a film. I'm a sucker for horror comedy, so I mean, when I see something like that, I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude! Like, something about laughing during those moments that just kind of calms me. I mean, I don't wish harm on anybody. It's a movie, but it's just like there's a lot of funny moments, and you're thinking, okay, you know what? Like, it just made it a little bit more interesting. A little bit more settled. You can chill out and just enjoy it.
I've noticed lately that it's kind of hard to make a horror movie without having some laughs in there.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, in film school when I was making my movies, they always kind of I set out for them to be scary and serious, and then they just always ended up being kind of funny. Which was, I'm glad that I learned that early on, because that's what I went into Werewolf Maragrita with the intention of. Is like, okay, this is a horror comedy. I know it's going to be a horror comedy. For instance, the other night, my girlfriend and our friend, we went to see The Ring at like an old vintage theater, and it's the like American remake of The Ring. It's not like the original Korean one,
Right.
but I laughed so many times in the theater watching it, and I didn't remember it as being a funny movie, but it is funny.
Yeah.
There are definitely a lot of funny parts in it, like the little creepy kid, the main character's child in the movie. Just every line that he said, like, had the whole
Yeah.
theater cackling. And that was a movie that wasn't necessarily supposed to be funny, but it's kind of like how horror triggers the same reactions in the body and the brain as a comedy does, like as a stand-up comedy. It builds tension and it releases it, builds tension and then releases it. So yeah, I think it's hard to make a horror movie without laughs. Even Hereditary, which is like the scariest, most dark. Like, I almost threw up when I saw it the first time. Still laughed.
Yeah.
Like
Man, I was gonna say too, because when it comes to horror films, like myself, I grew up watching a lot of the '80s, cheesy, Return of the Living Dead, horror comedies. I mean, Shopping Mall. The Howling, of course, Werewolf in London, when those started popping up. So I mean, I see a lot of humor in it, but it's just relatable. I think when you had mentioned that it releases the same reaction, I mean, it's kind of like when people say, you go home and you're from a long day of work and you get hungry, and it's just the brain telling you you're tired, but your body takes it as hunger, so you go home and you eat, and it's kind of like the same thing, because for me, like I'll say it like this, like I mean, when I do go to sleep and I put something on, it's got to be a horror comedy, because for the short time that I am watching the film, I'm laughing, cracking up, and it just makes it easier for you to go to sleep. And it's true. I mean, I laugh, I'm laughing, and I'm before I know it, I'm out, dude. I'm wake up in the morning and get the day going. But yeah, man, the humor, man. I mean, for me, it's just makes sense. I mean, I know for the most part, a lot of people are into like gore and just slashers, which is great. I'm a fan as well, but I gotta have a little humor in my movies, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like a sappy drama every now and then, but it's definitely not my favorite thing.
No, yeah, yeah.
You know, if I don't laugh at any point in the movie, it's definitely not my you know, not quite my thing.
No, no, yeah. I'm the same way. I mean, I do jump on projects, man, and I mean, I've jumped from the get go. I was like, man, I want to jump on horror films. Like, I want to, I'm like so many in already, and it's like I've only been in two horror films. And I'm like, man, I want to do more. It's just, but I mean, I get a lot of like, drama, a lot of law enforcement. Where I've played the cop or whatever. And I'll take it. I mean, it's an experience, and it's like, I'll do whatever I can with it. But for the most part, like I want to do a few more horror films. Hopefully next year. Next year I'll be jumping on some cool stuff, man.
Yeah, I've played a goon a couple of times, like a henchman,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'd love playing that part. I'm like, I wanna play in more gangster movies. Like I just
Dude, that's cool though, man. You see, I played. I've been like a goon twice. Once I was like a sheriff for a FBI agent, but when I got to play the goon, I was actually killed twice in that movie because we were out of extras, and they were like, "Hey, man, put a hat on and turn around," and it was just they didn't film the whole thing, but I was just like, "Heck, bro," so that was cool. I mean, I'm down for stuff like that too.
yeah, no, that's awesome. I just think it's a fun role to play because you get to dress all badass and just look mean. It's just kind of easy. And also really fun.
No, no, it is, bro. I mean, that's one of the things I always tell people. I mean, when you go out there, it's just like anything in life, man. Like, if you're not gonna have fun doing it, then why do it? If you're not, I mean, like where I work at, I love my job, bro. I love where I work at. It's made for me. I have a lot of leeway. I'm always busy. I'm always working, but it's not. I'm not stuck in a desk. I'm not stuck like, I'm walking around doing projects and just all over the place. So that's kind of the way I like it. It's control chaos, man. But at the end of the day, my boss. I mean, when there are projects that open up, I mean, they allow me to miss a day or two and jump on them, man. So I gotta be grateful, brother.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, working in the movie industry, that's the kind of boss you want that'll let you take a few days off when you get a gig because you never know
Yeah,
when that's going to happen. So
man. And of course, when it's as far as gigs, I mean, you said you are interested in jumping to more projects, casting calls, man. I mean, are you on some casting calls, or do you put yourself out there, or just go from word of mouth?
yeah, I'm actually looking to get an agent right now. Um, one of the main things that I saw and looking up different agencies in Albuquerque is that you want to be involved in some sort of acting class.
Yeah,
Uh, just really no matter how long that you've been in the industry, you want to keep educating yourself and learning different techniques and stuff like that. And so I've joined an acting class and also a screenwriting class because that's I'm looking to get more parts in acting. And I actually recently got casted in a short film that I'm really looking forward to.
oh sweet, man.
Um, Also, yeah, just I'm working on a screenplay right now that I'm not so attached to, like the Werewolf Margarita TV series. Like I'm attached to that. I won't sell that
Yeah.
to anyone. Like I'm gonna have to be the one to direct that. I just won't do it
Right.
unless I can direct it. And of course, I'd be happy to have like a team of a few writers to help me with the different episodes, but I got to be like creative control on that one. It's my baby.
No, no, for sure, man. I agree, man. Definitely.
I love that the little universe that I've created there. I love it so much. I just wouldn't be able to put it in the hands of someone else. But I'm working on another, just a feature screenplay that I'm writing right now, and I'm looking to sell that. So That would be fun. Yeah, I mean, also, I'm really hoping to get some jobs doing PA work. I've done some background acting work. Um, so yeah, those are really the avenues in which I'm looking to just get any jobs that I can, get more involved in the film industry here in Albuquerque.
No, for sure, and of course, and that makes sense because I mean, you're out there in the studio, you're getting to know people, know the directors. I mean, know others in the business, and just kind of stay plugged in. That's one of the things. When I first started the podcast, I mean, it was more towards like events. I used to cover events. I was a moderator, um, but looking into the whole film, horror films. I mean, it just made or indie film, should I say? I started looking at directors locally, and it took a while. Like it was just like it was kind of like Bigfoot, man. I said they're out there. I just don't know where they're at. And but you see, it's crazy because I would see stuff pop up, and it was just like a freaking rabbit hole. Like I had more questions than answers. But I mean, finally, when I started like getting to know like a lot of the local directors and other actors, I was just like, man, like it was cool. Like everybody kind of already has their go-to people, the ones that are dependable, the ones that they can count on, and it's great, man. Like it's a great opportunity just being able to jump and I mean, for me, the biggest thing is jumping on the project and seeing other people that I've worked with. That's like, oh heck yeah, dude. Like it's just it's just like having your teammates back, but makes it a
That's
little
a great feeling.
yeah.
Yeah, what advice I'd give to anybody, who is in a new place and is looking to get involved in the film industry there is go to local film festivals.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. Ellie, my co-producer and my girlfriend for Werewolf Maragrita, when we got here, like one of the first days we got here, there was a little local film festival, and we went to that, and we met all the connections that we're working with right now. And of course, the people that we met at the Chicago Horror Film Festival were there too. And so that was cool to see them. So yeah, I mean, just like go to the local film festivals. That's where you're going to make your connections.
No, for sure. I agree, man. I mean, there's so much stuff, and for me, and I've said it before too, man. Like when it comes to film festivals, movie premieres, like they always fall on days that I'm doing a gig or I'm in a film myself. So I'm like, damn, I just can't make all of them, and I hate not being able to be out there because it's like, dude, like it's just it's like a reunion. You get to talk to the people in the scene and the industry, get to meet more people. That's always a plus. And I mean, having the podcast helps because it's like, dude, I mean, I get people that are, like yourself that are doing projects and, with a lot of potential, man. I got to say that, so, I mean, I'm interested to see where this takes you, I mean, who knows, in a few years, you'll be out there on, big, you know, s- production, big everything. And, I mean, that's your goal, right? I mean, when you
I
decide,
would say that's the goal.
yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, going off with what you were saying too, that is the best part of being in the film industry for me is the people. I love film people. I'm a weird person. And so it's like I only really meet people who are like my kind of weird
yeah.
in the film industry, you know. And I'm just such a film nerd. I'm just always happy to be around other film nerds. It's
Well,
just
I mean, it's your vibe, It's just like I was saying earlier, like if I'm sure, or with anybody, you get a job and right off the bat, if people you work with aren't, you know what I mean? Like you're already like, damn, like I'm not gonna be good, And I mean, that's one of the things. Like for myself, I've always been in situations where I've worked with people, but I've always had that job that I didn't need to be around people. Like I'm in the back doing my own thing, and I prefer it. I was a mailman, 15 years, man. And what I loved about it was that I always had my route. I didn't depend on nobody. Like I did what I had to do. And, I mean, it was freedom, I mean, every once in a while, supervisors go looking for you, make sure you're not asleep somewhere, but other than that, it's like, bro, like it was just, I enjoyed it. It was just like, I'd go out there and walk around, whether it be raining or hot as hell, you're out there and you got that freedom to walk around and just pretty much, you know, walk everywhere and deliver, do your job. And that's it. But even like now, like my job, like I said, like I mean, I'm not tied down to anything. I get, I get there, I do my rounds, you know, have my projects, but throughout the day, I do my rounds to make sure the building, it's a building management, so it's just, basically like a maintenance guy with a title, but it pays great, and they take care of me, so I take care of the building, works both ways.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I like about writing. As much as I love working with people, what I love about writing is that I don't have to interact with anybody.
Yeah.
It's just me and in my head, and I just get to explore my own mind in a way. And I think it is really important when you're writing to have other people look at it, and that's why I'm going to be doing this writing lab
Yeah.
here in a couple of months, because I've reached a point with this TV series that I'm like, I need a professional who has been working in this industry of writing feature film screenplays and TV shows for, I think she's been in it for I'm not sure how many years, but a lot. I don't want to offend her or anything. But yeah, I think it's really important to also get different eyes on your work.
Yeah.
But that is what I love about writing, is that you just kind of get to be in your own head. And
No, no, for sure, man. And I was gonna say to you earlier, because I mean, the fact that you're going to school, I mean, it's
was going
necessary. I'm sorry.
graduated already.
Oh
These are
no, no. Well, I meant for you're taking the classes. I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
yeah, these are more local, just opportunities that popped up. Um, I'm trying to remember the name of the acting school that I'm going to right now. I'll get back to it.
No, 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 for sure. But I was gonna say, like, I mean, being that when you go, it's just like, I mean, it goes back to everything else. Like, I mean, when somebody teaches you a job and they're like, "Hey, this is what I do. This is how I was done." I mean, everybody's different. Your vibe, your technique. I mean, you take what they teach you and you use what you have, and I think that's what makes everybody unique. Because when somebody's filming, I don't want to say. I mean, there's some great directors out there. I mean, of course, there's some great writers, but at the same time, there's so many like directors and writers like in the indie world that I've seen, and I'm just like, damn, like I'm freaking blown away, because I'm like, dude, this is like you said, it's something like, they got to be like they got to have your sense of humor. They got to have, and when I see something that they're doing, I'm like, okay, yeah, that's my movie, man. Like it's just hits the spot, and but I mean, I don't know, man. It's just like a lot of you guys that are out there doing this thing. Like I'm appreciative, because for one thing, it creates opportunities for us to jump on films and projects, and at the same time, it gives us something great to look at. Once it's done.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so I wanted to ask you, what was one of your favorite parts of the film?
Man, for me, it was the twist that I wasn't expecting. Like when and for those that haven't seen it, I'm not gonna ruin it, but I mean, there was a part in the movie where it's and I had seen the movie something like that, and I couldn't remember the name, but it's like basically, when you think you're the hunter and you end up being the one hunted, and it kind of like throws a little something at you, man. And that's the part that got me. I was like, oh damn, like I wasn't expecting it, But I mean, the cinematography was freaking great, man. I mean, the sound was freaking on point. I mean, everything when it came to the actors, I mean, they were easy to follow. I mean, the character build up for the time that it was great, because you got to know the people in so little time. They just give you enough to where you're like, oh, okay, you know what, like this is what they're doing, this is what might happen, this is what it leads up to, and boom, throws a little a wrench in the gear, man. But it was great, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, like I mean, it was so quick, but when it finished, I was like, damn, that was good. Like that was a good movie, and yet it was a short. you know
Yeah, thank you. We definitely got lucky with both of our actors. Like, first of all, both of them are such beautiful people aesthetically, and also in terms of personality. Like, they were just great to work with. Um, Sky, the guy who played the werewolf, he worked on my thesis film in college. I had written a movie and I wanted to be the main character. Like I had written it with myself being the main character in mind. And once it came time to start making it, I was like, yeah, there's no freaking way I'm going to be able to act and direct at the same time doing this. And so I was like, I'm just going to have to find somebody who's a lot like me.
Yeah.
And so when I was, interviewing different actors and having them read the parts, Sky and I had a lot in common in the sense that we had both, more focused on competing in mixed martial arts earlier in our lives, and then moved on to doing movies and having that be our passion. And like, that was like one of the main things, but there's a lot of other things. Like Sky and I were, we're different people, but there are a few very big things that we have in common that we can dork out about. And so,
heck yeah, dude. Yeah, man, I was going to ask you about that too. I'm glad you brought that up, because you did, when you messaged me, you had brought up mixed martial arts, and I was like, oh, okay, heck yeah, dude. Like, it's just, it's like something that I've been through the grind. I've trained for years, and it's like, it's like something about going home that day, knowing you got your ass handed to you, and you're like, damn, I'm going to go back tomorrow. Like, it's just, there's nothing like it, man. And it's just like, the years of training and the hours and sparring and all that great stuff, bro. But for yourself, this happened in Colorado?
Yeah. So I started training when I was like 15.
Oh, okay.
And I ended up competing in kickboxing and boxing and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu all throughout high school. And then when I went to college, I kept up with it. I stopped competing, because it's there's a lot of head trauma there. And it's one of those things that I had thought about competing early in college, but I was just like, I'm not willing to put all of my life training for this fight. There's a good chance the other person is willing to put all of their life in training for this fight. So like, do I want to fight someone who is putting all of their time and mental effort into this while it's not my priority? It's like, no. Especially because, you can get your neck broken. Like all sorts of bad shit can happen in there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro.
So, if that's not what you're willing to do with your life, you might as well just. So I ended up, I still joined a gym, but I just kind of helped the fighters prepare for their fights by sparring with them and doing that kind of stuff. And I still have yet to find a gym out here in Albuquerque, but I've been looking for one and definitely looking to get back into it. But, when it comes to the movie industry, like where has been the most useful to me is choreographing fights. Like that little fight scene in Werewolf Maragrita, it wasn't much, but I choreographed it.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of how it turned out. And I think, with how short and one-sided it was, like, I do think it was pretty realistic in terms of like one guy who has knockout power versus three drunk dudes who don't know what they're really doing. That's more or less what it would look like. Knockout. I've seen some YouTube street fight videos that kind of went the same way, and that was inspiring to me too. But it's really nice because, I have the language from that experience to be able to talk to actual stunt guys. For instance, Sky was actually a pro MMA fighter. Like he was actually fighting in the cage.
Oh, damn. Oh, yeah.
He fought on one of the same cards that Sean O'Malley fought on.
Okay.
Earlier in Sean O'Malley's career. But yeah, I just thought that was cool. And one of the things that he sent me for his first audition video was like his highlight reel.
Dude, that's cool.
people up. It was so cool. I was like, oh, this guy's awesome. I'm definitely gonna have to hire him.
Hell yeah, dude. That's funny, bro. I've never thought about that. Somebody send me a reel. Send them a fight scene. Be like, yeah, it's my third
Yeah,
fight.
yeah. I know he sent me a straight up, like, his highlight reel of him in the octagon just tearing people up. I was like, wow.
Heck yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Because I mean, that just, I mean, for me, that's just, I'm 51, man. I mean, but when I started training, I think I was 22, and I had some minor boxing, out of high school. But when I started training, it was actually a valetudo school, which was,
Oh,
MMA wasn't being thrown around till like years later,
I
But
know what Valetudo is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. So we started training, here, and it's just like we did gi, no gi. We did like, I mean, everything from arm locks to leg locks, and mixed martial arts, man. But it's just like, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, my first month, I mean, everybody's like, man, what did you learn? And I said, shit, the first thing I learned was how to tap, bro, with my arms, my hands, like whatever, because it was just like
Yell tap,
brutal. Yeah,
right?
just getting your butt kicked, and it's like, but it was something about it that I was like, damn, I want to keep doing this, and I had wanted to learn, so it just made sense. But this was like 99, 2000, dude, when I started.
I
You
think my
know,
favorite thing about it is, you were mentioned there's something about getting your ass kicked and going home and being like, I'm going to go back
yeah,
to my.
bro, because
I think that big thing is that when you get your ass kicked, nothing that comes at you in the week
yeah,
in regular life is going to seem like that much of a demon.
no, yeah,
When
yeah,
you had, some hardcore dude kicking your ass at some point, you've got leather swinging at your face. Nothing much else in the week seems that bad after
no,
that.
yeah,
It just kind of calms everything else down, and you don't get that adrenaline spike from like, oh, I got to pay my taxes. Oh shit! It's like, oh, yes, whatever, cool. You know,
No.
like that was one of the things that I've been noticing recently. Like little things like that have been, getting me a little bit stressed, and I'm like, okay, I need to get back into a gym.
No, yeah, dude. You see, and that's one of the things that I guess, for me, even now, because I mean, I started like running again. I mean, I do a lot of road work when I'm out there. Like, I'll stop and do squats and lunges and push-ups and plyometrics, isometrics. I do everything, man. And this is like in 45 minutes, But for me, it's like, I don't, I always try to stay under an hour. Like, I'm like, I don't want to, commit to like a whole freaking day, man. But it's just, I mean, it's for myself, I'm not trying to go out there and fight, in the UFC or anything, but it just keeps me mobile, But at the same time, it's like I want to be to the point to where, like, if I go work out after work, I want to work out, get so tired that I just come home and sleep, man. Like, it just helps with the stress. You just freaking leave it all out there and come home and you're good.
Yeah, I mean, you were mentioning mobility. I even on days where I don't really do a real workout, I do some mobility exercises just because it's really important to keep every part of your body nice and
Well,
lubed up.
bro, I'm telling you, man. Even now, like, I've been like real big on my hip flexors lately, man, to where I'm
Me
stretching.
too.
Dude, it's like I wake up and I'm like, damn, like I feel off, and I'll be at work and I'll do like rodandis, like jujitsu drills, just to release that tension. Because I'm like, what the hell, man? Like, I used to be able to do everything and anything, and of course I've gotten older, but at the same time, I haven't kept up with it. So now it's like slowly just getting that mobility back, getting that, being able to stretch. And I used to joke around and tell people, like, man, I wake up and as long as I can touch my toes every day, I'm good. But now I'm like, damn, I gotta gotta make sure I can keep, still touch my toes, man. Like, it's wild. But I mean, just like everything else, if you don't use it, you lose it, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I had a back injury early in college, and it was like it lasted like 4 years where I just like couldn't really
Damn.
do much of anything, and that really sucked. Took a toll mentally, but it also like is kind of what led me into fully committing into going into the movie industry, because part of me when I first got to college, I'm like, I had thought about doing movies, doing something bigger and creative on a big scale, but I kind of fell out of it, and I was just like, as long as I can do martial arts, I'll be happy. And then I hurt my back, and then I wasn't able
Yeah.
to for like 4 years, and I'm like, okay, I can't rely on this to like be the thing that makes me sane
Yeah.
in life. And that's sort of what led me to doing movies. And, you know, now that I'm all healed up, I'm getting the best of both worlds, which is really nice.
No, for sure, man. You see, in a while back, I had they had tried casting me in this one. It was a local short film, and the guy's like, "Hey, I need a stunt guy. Like, you're gonna be playing a law enforcement." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." I said, "Well, what kind of stunts?" And he's all like, "Oh, well, one of the scenes, you're gonna be jumping over a fence." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm out." I mean, I was like, and it was just like, I was like, "Damn!" But when he said that, and I was like, "Dude, I haven't jumped over a fence in years, bro." I was like, "Let me go practice, and then I'll call you back," But I was just like, "Yeah, I don't think I can do that, man." And this was like the beginning of the year, and that's kind of like when it started making me realize like I gotta stay mobile, man. Like, I mean, if I want to jump on films and projects, and if I'm there and they give me an opportunity, like, hey, we need somebody to do this, I want to be able to say like, hell, I'll do it. Like I want to be ready. I'm not saying I'll jump off a building, but it's just when it comes to like small stunts or anything, like I want to be prepared.
Yeah, same. That's another reason why I've been trying to do mobility exercises every day. And because, it's been really helping. I actually like started a mobility program that's just about doing mobility.
Yeah.
And it's just about getting every little joint in your body, from your shoulders to like, every section of your spine, like able to flex and move for itself.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a lot more mobile than I have been in a long time. I still can't jump a fence though. And I'm 6'4".
Oh, damn. Okay.
I cannot jump a fence. But with being tall also comes the like awkward, gangliness of being tall and being a little bit more injury prone. Notice how basketball players like always get the most injuries, like they're always fucking up their knees or
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah, I have a coworker, man. He actually had back surgery, and the guy's like 6'3". And he
yeah.
was all like, "Man," and I said, "Dude, is it because of your height?" And he was like, "Probably." And I'm like, "Bro, well, everything's down here, man. You got to reach down for everything." I was like, "I can only imagine the freaking pressure, bro."
It's like even doing push-ups. Like when you're doing push-ups, you reach your arm out, and, the ground is a lot farther away for you than it is like someone who's 5'6" doing a push-up.
Oh yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
It's yeah, there are benefits, but it also, comes with some restrictions as well.
Oh yeah, you had that reach, man. You had the jab.
Oh yeah, the reach. That's where it comes. Like I'm the best. Like I'd say, when it comes to like the thing that I'm best at in all of combat sports, it's 100% boxing.
Yeah,
I love boxing because I'm also ambidextrous with my stances. So I can go from southpaw to normal stance like mid combination. So that helps a lot too, for sure.
Man, and I was gonna say we have some howling, dude, for that. You need some background noise for that, for your TV.
I think I did hear that. Yeah.
No, I forgot my neighbor's dogs, man. I forget to click closing the window because I have a soundproof wall and curtain I forgot to put over it. But yeah, man. But let me ask you, bro. When it comes to fighting, I mean, is a fight movie in your future?
Oh yeah. I mean, here's the deal: is that in this Werewolf Maragrita series, there's a lot of fight scenes.
Nice.
It's a thriller, horror, action comedy is really what it is. And it's fun because you get werewolves that like there's a whole gang of werewolves in the series, and like that's a huge thing for them is that they love to fight each other. Like every morning they beat the absolute crap out of each other in sparring, but the thing is that they don't have to hold back because at the end of the day they'll heal up completely because they're werewolves.
Damn.
So like we'll have scenes where they might be gouging each other's eyes out and biting off fingers and stuff, and like then later you see like their fingers like grown back a little bit shorter, or like their eyes like where in the fight scene it was completely gouged in, like a few hours later it's just like white, and then a few hours after that like it's like
normal.
normal eye. I kind of like those aesthetic, practical, special effects things too, that are just kind of gross looking and fun. And I like to let makeup artists have a lot of fun.
Heck yeah, bro. And I don't know. I have a buddy out there. I think he trains at the lab with Ben Henderson, man. But he's out there too, bro. So I know you'd be able to get a lot of bodies. Sorry,
In Albuquerque?
Albuquerque,
Okay, cool. Yeah, what is it called? The lab?
the lab.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah, bro. But I'm saying, like, I'm pretty sure you'd be able to get a lot of, extras, man. Just go to a team and be like, hey, I need some fighters, bro. Let's go.
It'd just also be great for like to have some really experienced people to spar with, because I I like it the best when I'm sparring with someone who is like way, way better than me.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to get scared of me
Right.
and hurt me in the process. People who are a little bit better than me, I can do spin kicks and head kicks and stuff. So like, I might hit someone with a light head kick and then they get a little scared or angry and then start going on me real hard. I'm like, Jesus, you're in way better shape. Stop. So, like sparring people who are like of that high a caliber that like, they're not going to get intimidated and start.
Oh yeah, bro. You see that was always me. Like I used to love rolling with people that like I would see them row and I'm like, damn, that guy's good. Like, hey, you want to row? Like I'm like, bro, because I mean that's the only way you grow. It's the only way you learn, man. Like
you learn exactly. I think sparring it's to learn. It's not to win the sparring match.
Nah, bro. I mean, once you start smashing all the people in the gym, it's like, okay, you know what? You're like you got to test yourself against other people, man. And we used to have a couple of good grapplers that used to stop by our gym at times, and I mean, this like I would, and I wouldn't call them out or be like, oh, but I was just like, damn, dude, like this guy's good, like, I'll be back tomorrow, or like I would stop by after work, just to check out the class, and they'd be finishing up already sparring, and I'm like looking at, it, and I'm like, hey, who's this guy? Oh, it's from Hansel Gracie, man, New Jersey, and I'm like, oh shit, I would see him row, and I'm like, dude, I want to row with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, hey, I would introduce myself, and hey, you'll be here tomorrow, yeah, and I said, okay. And the rule of thumb, I mean, back then, I'm pretty sure it's still the same. But I mean, your training partner that day, that's the first person you roll with. So the next day when I went, I said, hey, you want to pair up? Yeah, okay. I wanted to get him fresh, man. I was like, dude, I want to roll with this dude, and it was great, But I mean, I had a lot of great matches, man, to where it was like, it kind of see you test yourself and you see where you're at, and it's like, okay, shit, that's pretty badass, dude. Like you don't know unless you try it, and that was the best time to try stuff. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm the same way. If I see someone that's clearly way better than me, I'm like, I'll walk up to them and be like, like clearly you're gonna kick my ass, but like, please let's spar.
Yeah.
Just like, I just hope that you'll go easy on me.
No, yeah, man. I mean, I miss it, man. I mean, even now, like I'm sure I'll get back to it, man. It's just not gonna be definitely not gonna be like when I started, because I'm like, dude, I'm too old for that shit. I don't want to be injure myself and hurt myself, and then what? But
I mean, that's like as someone who's been through an awful injury that like, took up years of my life. It's like that's why I'm not really willing to do like the really hard sparring with unexperienced people, is just because it's like, getting injured is just not quite worth it.
No, not at all. Especially you have to wake up the next day and go to work, man. Like, damn. I was a mailman actually one time, and it was a jiu-jitsu competition. But I had told them, I was like, dude, I need Saturday off, and they're like, man, like, and they kind of already knew what I was doing, but they were like, if you break something, he's like, you guys still got to show up Monday, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine, don't worry about it. So Monday I went. I was just banged up, but I was like, damn, like everything hurt, man, and it was a cool tournament, and it was just like, okay, you know what, back to work, man. But
yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, with the main thing with that, I'm also looking to get back into it too. It'll probably be a while before I get the chance to, time wise. But the main thing that helped me with is just, choreographing fights in movies. And now I know that like, I can do that, especially if I'm working with really good stunt people. Like, like I said, Sky was an ex-pro and also had extensive training in actual stunt work, because it's different fighting on screen versus
you can't
fighting in real life. It's a way more exaggerated. There's certain techniques that you do on screen to make it look more realistic. You know, it's not the same as it is in real life, but you know, the beats of what can happen in a fight can be the same in real life. So I kind of use those two experiences, put them together. Also, the three guys that you see get beat up in there, they all, you know, they're all stunt guys, and they did such an incredible job. I mean, that's why that fight scene looked good, as short and simple as it was. Is just because they.
Oh yeah, because I mean, on their end, they got to sell it, you know,
and fall over in a way that it just made it, you know, look like they were getting pummeled real bad, and it was just so cool because I didn't have to do too much.
No, yeah, you see, because I mean, even you know, it's something you got to sell. So of course, if you're the one that taking the raw end of the stick, you know, I mean, you still got to sell it. You know, I'm not gonna be like, oh man, I'm not gonna go down to one punch. Like, nah, bro, that's in the script. You know, that's gotta happen. And the fact that they were, you know, able to play along and work well, man, that's freaking awesome.
It's funny. One of them did say, they're like, he's knocking us all out in one punch. I'm like, he's a werewolf. He has super strength.
Yeah.
He could probably kill you in one punch. He's just good.
Oh, yeah, and that's one thing. I mean, of course, people got to realize, you know, he is a werewolf, so of course he's got that supernatural power, man. Or strength,
yeah,
you know,
exactly. So. He's got that one punch knockout power.
There you go.
So, there we go.
Man, dude. Well, bro, man, I thank you for jumping on here, bro. I mean, I definitely enjoyed the conversation. You know, when it comes to the short film, I mean, of course, for those watching, I mean, I'm telling everybody to go to your Instagram. That way, that, you know, you can get a couple followers. But at the same time, the link is up there, so they can just click on the link, watch it, enjoy it, and send some cool feedback, man.
Yeah, thank you guys. Absolutely, watch it, and don't put any spoilers in the comments.
No, but by no means.
And I deleted it, so put spoilers in the comments. I will delete it.
No, yeah. Be a good sport and let everybody else watch it, man. Because it is, what, you know, 9 minutes of your life and well worth it. You know, I'll say that.
That was like, you know, like a year and a half of my life went into that.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. And we appreciate your work, brother. But man, don't hang up yet. Everybody out there, of course, once again, Spider here, Coming Soon Podcast, as always.